Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel where skincare is all about progression over perfection because perfection doesn't exist. Today we have a more relaxed kind of style of my Instagram versus reality series where we're just going to react to a few before and afters, a few different things that I've seen on the internet whilst I do my skincare routine. So, skin today, it's a little bit irritated from a few videos I've done. The TikTok video, my skin really didn't like one of the products. It's a little bit flushed at the moment as well, rosacea wise. Well, you can't really see it, but I've just come back from a dog walk. So I've got a simple, well, what I consider a simple routine today whilst we look through all these things. So as always with my routines, I like to rehydrate my skin pretty much between every step. This is one of my favorite mists slash toners slash hydrating products. This is from the Cult Beauty Advent Calendar, a full-size product. This is the Jordan Samuel Skin Hydrate the Mist. I love this. A few spritzes. It smells really refreshing, like aloe cucumber-y, you know? So what I thought we'd do, I did make a whole video on this, but I watched it and I was like, this is kind of boring. But let's go back to the beginning, because I feel like a lot of people think digital retouching, digital manipulation is like a new thing, but actually predates the existence of a digital photography. I found this blog post, which I can't find anymore. I really want to credit it, but I can't find it. I'll try and find it. But it shows you these amazing before and afters of retouched skin, bodies, faces, even eyes sometimes, in these very, very old pictures. So as we can see here, this lady has fresh skin. So they've smoothed out her skin, they've reshaped a few little bits, they made her chin like a lot more dainty, I would say. And they've done a really good job, to be fair. When we like zoom in, you can still see like the normal like lines, like fine lines in her face, but she just looks so smooth. As always with retouching, I think the under eyes are a dead giveaway, and you can see they're super smooth and they look a little bit fake here. But as we can see here as well, a whole chin's been removed, a neck, well, not removed, just a little bit covered up. And this lady here has had the whole treatment. She's had her skin done, she's had her face reshaped, she's had her body slimmed down, her waist. One of the primary things that I used to do was slim them right down and pinch in their waist, because that was like the fashion trend back then. Like nowadays people are curving out their bodies, making their bums bigger, making their lips bigger. Having that tiny waist was so important back then. But we also here have really good examples of skin retouching. So this man has had all his freckles removed, and you can see in this picture how they used to do it. So what they used to do, oh, I'm just going to apply the Real Ferment Micro Essence Mist. This is one of my favorite essences of all time. Brightening, evening tone, calming, moisturizing. So one of the most popular ways of retouching back then was actually drawing on the negative with obviously whites, greys, blacks, and literally cancelling out anything you can see. So for example, that's what they would do on the skin, and then they'd redevelop it and it would look like flawless. It was a real expertise. Like you had to be, there was not many people who could do this, especially when it comes to the lady we saw whose body was reshaped. They would actually clip around and they would cut around with like a very fine knife. And that was a real skill back then. So whilst difficult to do, it was still widely done. Now I want to look at this video. Okay, so I was tagging this so much. It's a Instagram post from Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics. I kind of know who she is. I'm not too clued up on that side of the YouTube. But in this video, she's talking about one of her foundations, how flawless it makes her skin look. Let's have a look whilst I apply my Juvia's Place, the Niacinamide Serum, which I'm loving, and there'll be a whole review on this brand hopefully coming soon.
I'm in the middle of doing my makeup right now, and I know I look really scary because all I have is my base on, but I just wanted to show you guys what my skin looks like with absolutely no filter when I just have on foundation, concealer, and my Mood Light setting powder. Because I feel like the people who know about Mood Light, like they know it's that bitch, but I don't talk about it that often. But I use it to set my entire face, and do you see the glow?
You can see her necklace disappearing. It's disappearing. The blur filter is so painfully obvious that an item of jewelry on her is glitching in and out. Normally this wouldn't bother me, like whatever, use a filter, but this is her brand she's talking about. This is a product that she's selling, and she's using this blurring filter to show you
Skin looks like with absolutely no filter.
How her skin looks with absolutely no filter.
When I just have on foundation, concealer, and my Mood Light setting powder. Because I feel like
there's a blur around her hairline, there's a blur around her face. It's bad enough that you're a brand using a filter to show off your how your product looks. And that's what bothers me. Use filters all you want. I don't care if you're selling something and you're showing the result, do not use a filter. But to then say with absolutely no filter when there is a painfully obvious filter on your skin, it's beyond, I just don't understand why people keep doing this. We're at a time in social media where people aren't stupid. We know how to spot a filter like that. Everyone. You don't have to be a photography graduate like myself to be able to spot a filter on a phone. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's so obvious. Painfully obvious, actually. It's so obvious that one's actually kind of embarrassing. Now, I want to show you this video of Huda Beauty. So Huda Kattan, who, you know, as much as I don't like her brand, I think what she's doing as far as exposing Photoshop and not using filters in her own brand and not using retouching in her own brand, I have to say, I don't believe there's not any retouching going on. Of course, you have things like color correction, and I think there's a little bit of help still going on there, but not to the level that we do see. But she posted this video, which is basically a before and after, showing a typical photo shoot and how the photos are edited. And she says, here's a not so perfect photo from our Glow Wish drop campaign shoot, and I want to show you guys what it looks like to be human. Okay, so let's take a look at the video. While we're watching the video, I'm going to be applying some eye cream because I'm going to put some patches on underneath. As we can see, they're doing the usual things like slimming in the waist, they're reshaping the face, the lips a little bit as well, retouching the skin, all very general things, changing the lighting a bit, adding highlights, shadows, contouring with the lighting, making her breasts bigger as well. This is a bit I find a bit weird, is they're adding a six-pack onto her. I'm not sure how often it's done in this way. I think this is a little bit excessive. I think this is just showing, like, you know, look what can be done, which, like, again, I think is an important aspect to show. And what I think is really interesting about these pictures when she shows you the before and after, the real and fake, is that when you look at the real, if you didn't see the fake, right, and you just saw the real, you'd be like, oh wow, that's an amazing picture, like she looks incredible. But when you see the kind of Photoshop version of it, you're like, oh yeah, she looks so good in that, like that after picture, even though none of it's real. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, if I'm photoshopping a picture of myself, let's say, like when you look at the original picture, there's no problems there whatsoever. She looks incredible. But the more you kind of tweak and the more you change, you know, those little bits about yourself, the kind of more carried away you can get, and then you become someone completely different. And I think that's what Facetune does a lot for people, because people can kind of get addicted doing these little tweaks or these big changes that they get so carried away that they actually prefer this version of themselves that doesn't exist at all. You know what I mean? So yes, I'm using eye cream and patches nowadays because they do just kind of make my under eyes look less sunken, less puffy at the same time, depending on what my eyes are doing, more awake, and they just add this like temporary brightness to my under eyes. So I do this for aesthetic purposes, I guess you can say. Okay, let's look at some more pictures. Madonna seems to be doing a lot recently because I honestly forgot she existed. Is that bad? Like, I'm not really into celebrity culture that much, but I forgot she existed for a while until I'd be non-stop tagged in these pictures. I don't know if she went on a night out or something, but, you know, she looks incredible in these pictures. She looks so good. In this picture, I think, is that Aquaria? I don't know. You can see she's face-tuned. Whoever's done it has done a good job, I must say. This is the Madonna that I know from looking at TV, music videos, print, all that kind of stuff. That's the Madonna I know as well. Like, she's on the bed, she's got her hair blowing everywhere. She looks perfect. But this is the thing, is we know Madonna doesn't look this young. We know this isn't how she looks, and when we zoom in, we can see the retouching being done. This looks like a bit more of a professional job over Facetune, something that's just done on your phone. It looks like it's been a bit more professionally retouched. However, here we can see a before and after. There she is on the right, looking like a normal lady of her age. Hair still looks good, I like her hair. But there she looks so young, and we know she's not that age, and I don't understand. But I swear she came out, actually, I should have looked at this before, but I swear she came out and said, you know what, I use filters, I Photoshop my pictures, I don't care, basically. Like, I'm gonna do what I'm doing, which is absolutely fine, because I have to be honest, I have to say, I don't think the younger generation who are so easily influenced by pop culture, celebrities, really care that much for her anyway. I don't know if that sounds bad. Like, obviously, like, there's going to be fans of her that are a much younger age, but I don't look at her now and think, oh, she's an idol for a generation that's growing up, you know? You know what I mean? Listen, I'm a huge Real Housewives fan. I love, well, I'm not a huge fan, that's going a bit too far, but I love Beverly Hills. Atlanta has to be my favorite, and NeNe Leakes is one of those characters that, like, one minute you love her and you think she's great, and the next minute you don't quite agree with her. She kind of gets on your nerves a little bit, and then you love her again, and then, you know, she's such a good character. Well, she's a real person, but she's such a good character in Atlanta. It's like Kenya, you know, sometimes I love and hate her as well. She posted this picture. I love Nene Leakes, but oh my god. I think this is, again, a really good example of when you're just working and working on a picture on Facetune and it gets to the point where you can't remember what you've done and you kind of like, you don't realize how far you've gone, because this looks nothing like her. If you showed me a picture of this and you asked me who it was, I'd be like, I have no idea who that is. I don't know, who is she? I have no idea. I would not think it's Nene Leakes. Nene Leakes is stunning. Like, I don't know why she's done this. Like, she looks like a completely different person. And people, bless her, are just laughing at her in the comments. I've not checked her Instagram, so I don't know if she's deleted it or not. But, like, that's insane. Come on, that's too much. Speaking of which, let's talk about the Kardashians again. I know the Kardashian-Jenners are kind of like an easy clickbait thing to have in the thumbnails and talk about these videos with, because everybody loves to hate on them, and YouTubers, including myself, have played off that before. One thing that I think is interesting about them, though, is you see this before and after. It's a clip from the TV series, and then a red carpet picture of Kris Jenner? It's Kris Jenner, right? And you can see she looks pretty much flawless here. Her skin is perfect, very, very even as well. And then here, she's, you know, got normal texture, everything you expect from a human being to have. What a lot of people don't realize is, especially channels like E! Entertainment, I can't remember what it's called, E! Network, whatever they're called, use filters post-editing. They're a lot more advanced, obviously, than just going on Facetune video and like changing a few bits, but essentially it's the same thing. It's pretty much blurring your skin, but then you could also add texture into that as well, so it doesn't look completely fake. You can change things like the lighting on the face, you can change the highlights, the shadows, you can slim people down as well on these things, and that is done for everyone pretty much with a reality TV program. Sometimes you see it in the Real Housewife programs as well. So even in reality TV, we're not getting full reality of what these people look like. You know, we see them lounging around in their pajamas, in like trackies and stuff, and we're like, oh my god, this is so real, this is so relatable, when really still they're filtered to fuck right there as well. So that's something to bear in mind. What I want to show you now is one of my favorite girl groups of all time. This is ITZY. They are a Korean girl group under JYP, and I love them, first of all, because when they first debuted, when they released their first single, they were very different to what was around at the time, and there was just something different about them. There still is, and whilst I haven't really enjoyed their latest couple comebacks, I will always support them. What I love is their Instagram account. When I think of idols, K-pop idols, I think flawless skin, all one tone, no texture. You know, they are the epitome of what a lot of people would consider perfection, and they kind of have to be. What I love about ITZY's profile is, when you look at the pictures of the members, you can see everything. You can see texture. I mean, they've all got amazing skin. Do you know what I mean? Like, they've all got incredible skin. But you can see texture, you can see flushing in the cheeks, you can see pores on their nose, and in some cases, even that fine peach fuzz that everybody has on their face. They look stunning, like absolutely stunning, even without filters. Like, if you saw these ladies in real life, you would be like, holy shit, they look incredible, because they do have amazing skin. Even without the filters, to look at their skin, they just look incredible. They are all very young, so time is on their side. But to me, this is so different to what we see a lot of in K-pop. Usually everything's so highly polished to the point where I think the companies have so much control over their Instagram, whereas ITZY's Instagram feels like it's just the members taking pictures of themselves and post them as they wish, as they like, looking however they look at the time, and they all look phenomenal. This is the thing, is if you don't filter yourself, when someone sees you in real life, they're going to see the you that you've been putting out on the internet, not this overly filtered version, so they're not going to be disappointed. It's too late for me. One thing I have noticed is, the majority of the time, even when I film these videos, or when you see this type of concept online, or you go to the Instagram versus reality subreddit, is you see the majority of these posts are women, girls. And obviously we know there is so much more pressure on women and younger girls to look a certain way, whatever the trending body type is of that time. And I have to say, a lot of them are very good at face tuning. And that's, I guess that's a compliment, but it's also kind of sad because they kind of had to be. And I also appreciate that this is the same with men as well. There are a lot of like unrealistic body standards that we see on TV, especially reality TV, that a lot of people are trying to live up to. However, men are not good at face tuning. Let's have a look at some of these pictures of men. This bodybuilder has just face tune. This is a guy whose job is all about his physique, yet for some reason he's made himself look like this. when I can guarantee without his filters, he's gonna look just fine. He doesn't care. The background's merging everywhere. There's bendy people in the background. The lights have gone everywhere as well. This Queer Eye photo shoot for Time Out. Something's happened to this guy's ribs. Or maybe that is his real body. I don't know. It looks like a bad Photoshop job to me. Then I don't know what's going on here. Is this real? Is this a real picture? What's happening to the sky? Something's going on there. I don't know what. One thing I am seeing a lot of nowadays is bloggers and brands that work with bloggers who advertise slimming teas. Oh, let's take these off actually. Oh, yes. Shiny and nice. They feel a lot more awake as well. They feel a lot more like revived. So one thing I've noticed a lot recently is people advertising these skinny teas, certain diets. It's been around for a long time, but now it kind of has that like MLM feel behind it, you know? I've noticed a lot of fake before and afters. Let's take a look at this picture. This lady has lost 42 pounds. We can see her before picture and we can see her after picture. Great, perfect. However, when we zoom into the background of the window, you can see that her body shape isn't quite what she's showing us here. This is another dangerous aspect of fake advertising. You know, it's one thing to pretend that a foundation gives you no pores, but it's another thing to sell a diet, something that could really, really mess with people's bodies, and pretend it's been successful. Because whilst I might get a foundation and be disappointed that it didn't give me a poreless look, things like this can lead to so many deeper issues and unhealthy relationships with food and dieting and all that kind of stuff. I don't know how rigorously this is monitored. In fact, I don't know how rigorously any of this filteredness from bloggers and YouTubers, Instagrammers, whatever, is monitored. Who's doing it? Is there a team? I need to find out. I need to know. So my final step is going to be the Juvia's Place Peptide and Ceramide Cream. As I mentioned, my skin has pretty much gone to shit because of all the stuff I've been doing to it recently. So this cream, it's just nice and moisturizing, but then obviously we've got the peptides and ceramides to help with my skin barrier. So let's watch this video. I thought this was so cool. I was tagging this a lot on Instagram, and I think it's just nice that people are doing this to show you exactly what can be done. How crazy was that? The fact that, I mean, this is something we're all used to, right? Seeing pictures like that look so professional. I mean, this is something we're used to, is seeing those flawless kind of skins, but obviously she isn't a professional retoucher. Actually, I don't know her job. I'm guessing she's not. But this is what you can do on your phone. This is what you can do on your mobile. This picture of her before and after, where all her like hair peach fuzz has gone. Yes, it does look like the texture's been exaggerated in the before picture, but the fact that that is all gone and that's smooth and that was done probably on a phone is absolutely crazy. And just to know how easy it is to do that, meaning how common this is, it's kind of worrying, you know? I love this. I love that people are doing this. I love that people are just, you know, every 10 videos you just get a reminder that not everything you see online is real. I think it's what we need. So finally, let's take a look at some red carpet pictures that haven't been retouched, because that's another thing, is not a lot of people know that the red carpet pictures you look at, which are meant to look like spur of the moment, candid shots, basically, well, they're posing obviously, are actually retouched. They're usually retouched by fans and then they're kind of circulated, and because they look like a perfect picture, they're circulated more than the red carpet pictures you'll get on things like Getty Images, which we're going to look at now. So this is just a slideshow of celebrities' normal textured skin. And there's just something so nice about it. We know celebrities are real people. We know that they have textured skin. But looking at these celebrities, like Justin Bieber's actually got good skin. You know, seeing the pores on these people, seeing the scars, seeing the stubble, seeing the dark under eyes. It's just nice to see. These celebrities have money. They have access to some of the best dermatologists, the best treatments. So sometimes I think we could get in our heads thinking that they are perfect because they got the money to be perfect. There's that saying, isn't it, that you're not ugly, you're just poor. So it is nice to see these incredibly wealthy people still having texture in their face. There's nothing you can do about your pores. They're gonna be there. They still get breakouts because they're human. They still get dark circles because they get late nights because they're human. It's just nice to see. So let's finish on that. I know that was a bit everywhere, not usually as thought out as my other videos, but look, I'm tired. I've been so busy recently and I've just moved house and I'm not unpacked yet. So I just thought it'd be nice to look at some pictures and kind of go through them. Nothing too serious, because the next one is going to be quite serious. But I hope you enjoyed that. Keep tagging me in these pictures. I love these, the before and afters, the filters, the obvious filters, the questionable filters. And you can watch the whole Instagram versus reality playlist here and some general light entertainment here. And I'll see you over there.